In April of 1968, Americans filed into movie theaters seeking refuge from media dominated by war, tension, and political demonstrations. One film would transport viewers into outer space through an unparalleled cinematic experience. Stanley Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey. Today, the movie is not only a staple of classic sci-fi, it's widely considered to be one of the greatest films ever made. Kubrick's masterpiece took cues from both the canon of science fiction before it,
something is happening to the children of Mars,
and the culture and politics of the 1960s. 2001 not only left a massive impact on cinema, technology, and pop culture, it may have even predicted the future. The science fiction we know today didn't really take shape until the 19th century, with the birth of the Industrial Revolution. Science and technology advanced rapidly, changing culture and society in profound ways. Some science fiction authors explored the dark consequences of scientific advancement, while others used the genre as an idealistic way to transport readers into imagined futures. Then, at the turn of the 20th century, came the invention of the moving picture, a perfect platform for science fiction. Movies became an instant hit, and sci-fi hit the big screen.
Got to get to that ship. It's on fire.
But in the 1950s, science fiction took a dark turn as America entered the atomic age. Filmmakers and writers responded to the wonder and anxiety arising from the technological advancements of World War II. They told stories of scientists, politicians, and soldiers facing otherworldly weapons of mass destruction and external threats like monsters and space aliens.
Here is another UFO bulletin.
The cultural upheaval of the following decades sparked a renaissance in science fiction filmmaking. The 60s were all about rejecting the status quo. War in Vietnam challenged nationalist ideals. The civil rights movement challenged segregation and inequality. Questions about the future hung in the balance. So people looked to the stars for answers. As America and Russia neared the climax of the space race, interest in space exploration skyrocketed, and writers and filmmakers became interested in more speculative fiction. What if our future enemies weren't just monsters with lasers? What if technology became so advanced that it looked like magic? One of these filmmakers was Stanley Kubrick. After reading a short story called The Sentinel, Kubrick and the story's author, prolific sci-fi writer Arthur C. Clarke, developed a screenplay together about man's relationship to the universe. A screenplay that in a few short years would become 2001, A Space Odyssey. In April of 1968, 2001, A Space Odyssey was released in theaters. Initially, the 3-hour-long film received a lot of criticism. At its premiere, 241 people walked out. With very little dialogue, the film focused on imagery, and it confused viewers who did not understand what it was about. 2001 presented a psychedelic journey featuring a monolith at the dawn of man, a space station, a talking computer system named HAL 9000 that goes insane, and a prison built from a man's subconscious. But even if they didn't entirely understand the plot, moviegoers were transported into the future. Its sweeping visual style and special effects influenced future space blockbusters like Star Wars, and won the film an Oscar for Best Visual Effects. When 2001 came out, space exploration finally seemed credible. Even though Kubrick's film was kind of a dark warning about dehumanizing technology, it inspired a generation to pursue and appreciate space exploration.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And it also imagined a version of the future with some shocking similarities to our world today. Meticulous research by Kubrick's team forecasted technology to come. The talking computer HAL 9000, for example, feels eerily similar to Siri or Alexa. From flat screens to tablet computers, in-flight entertainment systems to video calling, 2001 presented high-tech gadgets that would eventually exist in real life, though not all by the actual year 2001. Perhaps the most notable vision, though, is the large revolving space station orbiting Earth. The first space station, Mir, wasn't launched by the Soviet Union until 1986, and the fully crewed International Space Station launched in 1998. 2001: A Space Odyssey left an indelible mark on society, a work of cinema that in 1968 was decades before its time.